President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, has expressed concerns over the migration phenomenon known as Japa in Nigeria, saying that Nigeria and the African continent are the biggest losers to the Japa trend. Adesina, who spoke yesterday in an interview with newsmen, said youths in Nigeria and other 51 countries in Africa do not need free buys under the guise of empowerment schemes, but capital to fund their ideas and translate the same into enduring wealth. The former Nigeria's agricultural minister said Africa's youth swelling is a demographic asset that has to become an economic asset through rigorous investment in human capital development and financing. According to him, Africa's youth population was not a problem for the continent because India and China's population have not been a problem for them. It is what you do with your population and how you skill them up that matters. The AfDB boss said that if young people in Africa are skilled and have good jobs and social protection, these would turn to prosperity for the continent because the demography has high purchasing power. He said that in a world of rising tariffs, it is important for Africa to build consumption as part of its gross domestic product. In the case of young people and the Japa syndrome, it's a big loss for us. Young people don't need free buys, they don't need people. The AfDB boss said that the financial system in Africa was not designed to support young people on the continent. Adesina said to support young people in Africa, the AfDB created the Youth Entrepreneurship Development Bank to support their business plans and to address institutional failure around financing. He said the AfDB just approved $100 million to set up the Nigerian Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank to mobilize $2 billion of investment for more than 38,000 businesses of young people in Africa. They don't need 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira. You want to create youth-based wealth. If you don't, you are the people who will pay the taxes in the future. Where are you going to get the capital mobilization in the future? You have to, therefore, invest in the same demographic so that you can reap in the future. I will start with you, Mr. Saru. Nigeria losing big to Japa trend. Adesina, what's your idea on what was your thought on Japa trend?
Well, every Nigerian youth is just looking for greener pastures. So once they find an opportunity that gives them the leverage to go outside the country, they'll grab it with all pleasure. Even me, I will grab it because over there, the system of government is stable, the economy is stable, everything is in place to make society better for its citizenry. Okay. So this syndrome is because of the failed system of government in Nigeria that is promoting the Japa syndrome.
Would you still grab the opportunity now, currently, based on the uncertainty? Definitely, I will. I'm talking about uncertainty on the other side, because on the other side of the fence, where we wake up every morning and we just know that Trump will say something.
The policies he's putting up does not affect, will slightly affect the livelihood of the people over there, because they believe in working for their money. Okay. Once you work, you are qualified to earn from what you work. And sometimes, from what I heard, sometimes they pay per day, they pay per hour. Okay. And in Canada, you don't work more than 6 hours. If you want to jump from jobs to jobs, you work at least 6 hours maximum. You go home. Okay. Some people go overboard. They shuffle between 2 jobs a day just to make ends meet. The difference there is just the increase in taxes for some of these basic amenities, because aside from that, the way of life there is a bit stable. In fact, it's stable, not a bit stable compared to here. Okay,
Mr. Libari, the AfDB boss said that the Nigerian system is not designed in a way to support businesses and to support consumer market, production market, or we were more of consumers. Would you agree with him?
As it's not supporting production market, it's not also supporting consumers, consuming market also.
That's right.
Okay, like he rightly said that Nigeria is not partnering a way to support the youth, which is true. Okay. They say youth are leaders of tomorrow and co-leaders of today, but in Nigeria, youth are always leaders of tomorrow. They are not co-leaders of today. So one thing is that you cannot leave a brain that is on fire someone who has the zest, the push of trying to make things work, and the environment is not giving you that comfort, that act of involvement. You are involved in this developmental process and you keep staying. No. I'm saying it sometimes, was it 2017, when I had the opportunity of traveling to the US. If it were to be now, I would have run.
Okay.
I wouldn't have think it twice. But then, the high level of belief I have in Nigeria that Nigeria will be better. I had it that no matter what, nobody is going to build this land for us. We are the people to build it. But this is coming from African Development Bank. They know about the economic system of all the African countries.
Yeah.
So him saying it, and it's also in Nigeria, to tell you that this system is not designed to support the youth is something that we shouldn't fight over.
Okay.
Because the only support the youth have is being political talk. Yeah, the only support they have is being used as a pawn in the game of politicians, the bourgeoisie, the capitalists. They're just using them as the pawn in their game. So by the time you say you are not part of it, they start calling you names.
Yeah, we set you up.
So that is it. I'm into real estate, a big time. I thought of starting my company. And one of the conferences I go, one of the training I go, which is true, because I've met some of the newbies they said for you to do well in business in Nigeria now, you must have a strong politician that is with you. After a politician, you must have law enforcement agents that who are with you. Then you must have a strong spiritual backup. And how can you get this political force? It will come from them that does not have the system of supporting the youth. So before they will support you, what are the things involved? So those are the things.
But I'm trying to correlate having a strong support system in politics to having enough startup capital. Are we not mismatching the factors needed in business?
The issue is that having the capital, if you have a politician, you have the capital.
But there are platforms the federal government has set out.
I know how much is being given out of the platform. Okay, let's say it. One of the platforms I say that has been very genuine over time is a Tony Elumelu Foundation. When it comes to government money, how much are they giving out? Look at what is there, and that's why people are japaing. I have a friend who finished his master's abroad. He did his PhD abroad also. He came back to Nigeria. He said the vast of knowledge he had, because while he was there, he engaged in agriculture. He said he's coming to Nigeria. He wants to work on something to start what he learned there here. As I'm talking to you, he's no longer in Nigeria. He's no longer here, bro.
Where is he? He has gone back?
He has gone back to Europe. Because the environment is unconducive, it's hostile to you. I read something that said, being given birth to in Nigeria, life has given you 5-0.
I will hold your thoughts there. Do you think the Nigerian youth, most Nigerian youths are eager to start up companies, industries in the current system we are in?
Definitely. Every Nigerian youth have that at the back of his own mind to start up something. Growing up, I used to want to be a career person, but owing to the fact that you finish school, no job, you are obliged to create a job for yourself.
Okay.
So now creating a job for yourself involves finance. It involves human resources. It involves capital resources. It involves material resources. So resources have to be in place, but there's limitation. There are limitations to these resources. After finishing school, I go for NYC, come back. The little money I make from NYC will not, as I've done, was not enough to start up a business. So you are left with no option than to start petty business that would take a long run for you to generate more income to start a bigger one.
Okay.
So every Nigerian youth at the back of his or her mind, don't know, some youths are in a comfortable environment where their parents, they have everything at their beck and call. So those ones, they don't have problem. I'm talking about the average Nigerian youth. Is poised on the premise to start up something, but there are limitations.
He just opined that that most youths are eager to start up something. Do you agree to that?
Yes. What am I doing? I started off something, and I'm going with that thing. It's that thing that makes me to eat. I told you it was one of the days here that I told you I went for an interview in one of the neighboring states here. I brought out my developmental blueprints. It was an international NGO. And I brought out what they said we should do about how to, and at the end, the person that came from Lagos specifically to conduct the interview told me that someone in government has already given them somebody. Gave me 20,000 to pay as transportation back to River State.
Did you go with blueprints?
He told me, that was what he said, that my blueprint is even better than what they already had. Because what I studied is we work more with NGOs. So developing community development, first need and need identification, those things, conflict resolution, those things are not hard when it comes to me, based on what I studied.
Okay.
So on the long run, when it didn't work, no job anywhere, I have to create something for myself, bro. I'm working for myself. The same thing with Nigerian youth. I have friends. Almost the people I have, they are there bearing their axe every day to make sure they feed. Nigerian youths are not lazy. I said it some time ago. Why is it that you are here, they are telling you are not doing well? Once one of our youths leaves the shore of Nigeria, go into diaspora, you see the person doing well. That means the limitation on us is much.
The limitation based on systems or limitation based on mind? Because you said you studied something.
Now, look at it. Environment plays a role. I always talk about conscientization.
Okay.
Whenever I'm here, the theory of conscientization by Paulo Freire. When you are in an environment, if you look at the conditioning theory in psychology, you will hear that once you are in an environment has a way of conditioning you.
Okay.
Most Nigerian youth has been conditioned by the environment of our nation. They have, okay, what will you say about a youth who have tried? Taxation has crippled him. What will you say about a youth who have tried, and because one politician does not understand what the youth is doing, is seeing the youth as a threat to him, look for every means within their political power to cripple the youth, and succeeded in crippling what a youth invested his sweat in. I have evidence of people who has gone through that. So on the long run, the limitation of the mind is born out of environment. So if we can have this environment wherein everybody explore, everybody tries, everybody strive, and everybody march into the ocean to swim, you will see the mysteries. But we are in an environment wherein all the policies, like what he said, our system does not support youth. So when the system is not supporting the youth, what do you expect? Man, if you are doing well, before you know, they will look for every angle of bringing you down. And that's why I still repeat what I was told, that for you to strive in, you want to start up this, have a politician, have law enforcement agency, and then have a strong spiritual backup.
Okay, let me hold your thoughts there. I want to use the example of the parable of the sower. We said we know what they was said that some seeds fell on some ground, and then those who fell on good soil. Now, some fell on rock. They grew up. They grew.
That's right.
So let's look at like Nigerian youths as the seed, and the Nigerian system as environment.
I tend to agree with him to an extent.
Okay.
The environment has a way of conditioning your mind, but you as the seed have a role to play, irrespective of the environment. environment play a large part. Let me put it this way. Environment plays about 70%, but the 30% role is placed on the seed. Are you getting me? Okay. So if the environment is not conducive, is not permissive, is not encouraging, what do you do? That's the question.
Japa.
Not okay. Aside, okay, Japa is one of the means to survive. So what if you don't have the means to Japa? What do you do?
Go through Libya.
Go to really? Are you going to call someone to go to Libya? Really?
So you just have to look within.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
The prodigal son had everything, lost everything. He was left alone by himself or for himself.
Okay.
So the Bible says he looked within. He asked questions. He probed the situation.
He came to his senses.
Yes, he came to himself in his senses,
okay,
and started probing the environment he found himself. So it was the probing of that environment he found himself that he came to a realization. He came to options. Options started coming, and he decided. So when you find yourself in an environment that is not encouraging, is limiting, so you need to look within to find a way out, a positive, possible way out to survive.
Okay, positive way out. Yeah. He didn't mention Japa.
Okay. Yeah, Japa is one of it, but aside from Japa, there are other means.
But he just said we are the ones.
Yes. Michael, see, let's get what this man is saying here. I use the word. First, he's a Nigerian.
Yes.
Second, he's in charge of African Development Bank.
Yeah.
Means that anything that has to do with development in Africa, they have the statistics.
Yes.
They know how it's being run. They know the systems. And I'm saying this, I'm not saying this as a Nigeria who is optimistic about the development of Nigeria. I'm saying it as someone who is analyzing what Adesina said.
Yeah. Okay.
And based on facts that are before him, he brought this out. In other words, this is a clarion call to Nigerian youth.
Definitely.
Okay, we are in an environment where if the youth comes out to protest,
they are being killed.
They are being killed. They are being arrested. It starts from there. These are all the things we are saying. Whether they like it or not, let them borrow a league from Burkina Faso. They've launched electric car in their country.
Yeah.
Factories are coming up every day, educational system, and the rest of it. But here are we in Nigeria, that youth cannot talk. You can't venture taxation here and there. As common as we were using, online business, tech was thriving. All of a sudden, we now hear about the Nigerian telecommunication, this hike in data, and the rest of it. You will subscribe data, 10 gigabyte, 10 gigabyte a day.
2 days.
It will not last for 3 days.
Yeah.
How much are these things? This is what we are saying. The environment is not for us. I have somebody in South Korea.
Yeah.
The person will tell you that they are always online because the data they are using most time is paid for.
Wow.
They give them that environment to strive. Somebody traveled to China recently. Coming back, the person was telling me, "Oh boy, we are missing here. We are missing here." Said, in China, what they just need from you as you tell them I can do this, they give you.
They provide.
So here in Nigeria, you have something you want to do, you come home, before you can start that, you meet this or go to this office, and each of the offices you are going, you must drop something. What are we saying? So they are like Nigerians, and we are looking for solutions. Nigerian youth are striving for this solution. Recently, something happened in River State here. Someone wanted to build film village, the first in South. The first in South. Film village. Government officials say it's a threat to the local government. What makes film village to be a threat to local government? So these are the things we are talking about. These are the things. So if such a person, and the person in question that wanted to build the film village was already in Ghana. He built his media house in Ghana. He thought it was, let him return home and do it here in his country. And he was met with this. So there are many things that are happening as far as we are Nigerians. So we are fighting the limitation. We are fighting the stumbling block. We are fighting both the environmental factor that is trying to limit our mind, and we are still striving. I beg, our government should do better than this.
Okay.
Let me add to what he said. I'm agreeing totally to what my brother Felix said. Everything boils down to the youth. Now, every leader you see over there was once a youth.
Okay.
I get me. So it has to do with generally human capacity, because it's the human that influences the environment.
Okay.
Environment on its own can influence itself. It's people that constitute the environment. So if we educate, sensitize, develop the youth, as he said, in the nearest future we'll be looking at a better Nigeria.
Okay.
But this Japa syndrome is like trying to wake something that is dead, and it's very, very impossible. It takes the eradication of this era for the effulgence of a new breed to bring about change.
But if everybody Japa, who's going to
Michael, sorry, don't ask that question. See, we can't see. Let me use the medical field as an instance, Michael. Someone spent years. I have a friend who stayed in medical school for 10 years.
Wow, 10 years.
10 years. But at a point, at level 500, you have what is called the level of immunity.
Yeah.
At that point, you can never be waived.
Yes.
So at that point, some of them takes break,
Yeah.
go and look for a means of livelihood,
Yeah.
and come back. So someone sought himself through medical school for how many years? Coming back, you do your 1 year internship. After 1 year internship, you embark on 1 year. That is the internship. You went on NYC to serve Nigeria. The clarion call, as they call it. Now, after that, coming back now to have to practice what you have spent these years is a problem.
That is also
now, sorry, I'm coming. Now, why will this person not Japa at any call?
He will.
No, let's talk about it. I'm a legal practitioner. I strive through school. Not that I didn't go to be a charge and bail. I know my onions and I ought to eat my suya when it comes to the profession. And no matter what, that environment, the judiciary system has been bastardized.
Yeah.
And I've seen it that I don't want to compromise. And I see that call at the flip of my finger. Why won't I leave? I study engineering. Recently, Poland were looking for engineers. Kuwait looks for engineers. It was advertised. And here in Nigeria, the contract system and the rest of it is not favorable, since the system is not designed for the youth. It takes the elites, those who have been in political office, to still win the contract. After they've removed what they want to remove, they sublet it to you, and before it gets to you, it has been taken through 2 to 3 processes of subletting, and when it gets to you, they are expecting you to do a quality job with the meager resources given to you. And I have the call. Why won't I Japa?